My dearest Jon, I hope this message finds you in health and in the quiet clarity that comes only from long reflection. I cannot express my gratitude for the mirror you gave me. That sacred fragment mined beyond our multiverse, directed not by wires or waveforms, but by thought and grace. It did not just transport me, it taught me, and I promise, as I once told you, to let it serve the highest good in ways that sanctify both of our lives. You've always shown courage in trusting me, even when my past may have given reason for pause. I thank you for your understanding. When I once spoke, haltingly, of my bond with a fellow cleric at the Galaxy Cathedral, there are times in one's priesthood when spiritual companionship becomes complicated, but I've long since prayed over that time and what came of it. I have blessed him truly and find no bitterness in my heart. Some confessions are best given only to God, but it means something that I could give mine to you. As for your son, I must, with utmost integrity, honor the seal of the confessional. What was spoken at Notre Dame of the Milky Way shall remain there, between your son and heaven. But I will say this, your instincts as a father are not wrong. Ira loves deeply, and he chooses his companions with the same sincerity he brings to every endeavor. Yes, Jeremy and Ira have grown close. You once said it seemed more than coincidence that my son and yours should find one another. I agree. While Jeremy may appear barely older than a high school senior, the truth, as you know, is more complex. There are, as we joke in theological circles, centuries between them, though they speak and laugh as if born days apart. In my eyes, they are both boys. But then again, I consider anyone under 500,000 years still in his youth. That's not to diminish their wisdom. It's simply a matter of perspective. After all, a Pentillion who has lived 1 billion years is still but a student when viewed by one who has seen 1 trillion. If our souls are eternal, Jon, then perhaps we are all still learning to be men. Let me be equally clear. They have never been alone. Without the presence of a third party, that role has been held by mentors, caretakers, and friends, all of whom I trust. I have observed nothing but a profound and chaste companionship, one that lifts them both. Love comes in many forms, Jon, and I believe the kind that encourages truth and trust, without coercion or concealment, is holy. Now, to the more difficult part of this message. After receiving your gift, the mirror, I found myself in a state I can only call grief-struck. One night, after a dream that felt more like a visitation, I willed the mirror on nothing but desperate hope to take me to her. And it did. I emerged at the edge of a clearing, beneath a cobalt sky of stars I had never charted. There, across the grass, was the home she had always described in her dreams. A house nestled on a hill above the city of Altharsia. I saw her bathing amorous in a great atrium, the spring water glistening. And I could not bring myself to interrupt such peace. I returned to my chamber, placed the mirror back in its case, and wept. Years passed. Jeremy grew. My ache deepened. And one day, I returned. I stepped from the mirror, unsure if she would want to see me. She turned. We locked eyes. I fell to my knees, not from weakness, but from the weight of everything I had lost, and everything I hoped still remained. She stepped toward me, hesitant at first, and then fell to her knees beside me. She wrapped her arms around me, and neither of us spoke. We wept, together, as one. Her home is everything she dreamed of. Modest, peaceful, filled with light. Amorous, radiant and loyal, greeted me as if no time had passed. It still stirs me that she is Solara's littermate. Two souls born in a universe long since collapsed, now living on opposite ends of God's infinite garden. You may recall the video call from Madame Pentillion when it happened. When Sarah's star car veered into that singularity, You saw the look on her face when she realized I had not heard. That moment cracked something in me, not just sorrow, doubt. After all, how long can a people go without proof of God before they begin to believe He has moved on? You changed that. Your faith and your gift brought me to mine. Sarah never wants to leave Paradiso, and I understand now why you warned me. No one who finds it ever wishes to return. And yet, she keeps saying this strange thing. Stay with me until we embark on the next leg of our journey. I still don't know what that means. But when she says it, something eternal stirs inside me. She and I rode through Paradiso in a star car transport, while Jeremy cared for Amaris. The world felt like a psalm. The nights were not measured in time, but in tenderness. I rediscovered parts of myself I thought had vanished, in the dust of sacrifice. And now, after long deliberation, the church has granted me what I sought, a permanent leave of service. I will remain on Paradiso, with her, as it was always meant to be. Jon, thank you. You, Marilyn, and Ira are always welcome to visit. But know this, Sarah says even Paradiso is only a beginning. What lies beyond will make this place seem like shadows on the wall. Her words, not mine. But I believe her. Before I go, know this final thing. I will entrust the sacred mirror to Jeremy. He understands now, having seen that place with his own eyes, that no paradise, no matter how wondrous, should replace our purpose in the world. He told me, I'll return when it's time. No matter how far in the future I arrive, that day will still be the first day of eternity. So, it's all good. He is your son's friend, Jon. And one day, I think he will be something more. May the mirror guide you as it has guided me. In love, in light, and in the name of the source that binds all things, your eternal friend, Father Reese Orin.
Father Orin, your words reached me in the quiet of morning. Just as the light from the twin suns passed through the archive window, they arrived with stillness, and then they shattered me. You gave me more than I ever expected to hear, not just about Ira, but about your own soul, and the unspoken stories we both carry. You don't owe me anything, but you offered something sacred, and I received it with reverence. I've lived long enough to see civilizations rise and fade, watched empires dissolve into memory, and stars collapse beneath their own gravity. But the hardest thing I have ever done is watch my child become someone I do not always understand, and learn to love him more for it. You confirmed what I had long suspected, but could never ask him outright. Not because I feared his answer, but because I feared how small I might look if I asked it the wrong way. Ira is not confused. He never has been. It was I who struggled to adjust the lens. When he began spending time with Jeremy, I saw a light return to him. Not the light of infatuation, but of permission. Permission to be seen, to be chosen, perhaps. Not because of his lineage, but because of the quiet things he carries, that most never notice. And I noticed them too late. Your description of their companionship moved me, not because of any reassurance it offered, though I know that was your intent, but because it reminded me that true care is not always passionate or poetic. Sometimes it is chaperoned. Sometimes it is still. Sometimes it waits and does not ask for anything in return. That is the love I see between them. And if it ever becomes something more, in this age or the next, I will be glad. You said they are both boys, and though I smiled at the line, I knew exactly what you meant. I am older than our galaxy, but I still feel no older than Ira when he reaches for something with wonder in his voice. The young are not those with new bodies, but those who still ask the unanswerable questions. You are right to remind us that if the soul is eternal, then we are all still growing. In my life, I have gathered wealth on a scale that few in the Galaxy Alliance fully grasp. There are days when entire planetary ventures knock on my door, hoping I'll fund their dream into reality. I've learned to listen wisely, to separate ambition from calling, vanity from vision. And yet, when Derek Jones, your son's friend, came to me with a plan to save the people of Lysandria from mass starvation, I approved it without hesitation. No committee, no questions, just action. Because that is what wealth is for, to be used where the need is greatest. And still, my resources, vast as they are, pale. When weighed against what I have in Ira, he can do no wrong in my eyes. That's not parental blindness. It's the clarity of love refined through heartbreak and humility. I won't lie to you. There was a time I considered disinheriting him, not out of anger, out of fear that I had failed him, that I would pass on something unworthy. But it was Marilyn, my beloved wife, who stopped me. When Ira tearfully confessed his truth to us, she simply held him and then turned to me and said, "Don't you dare let him believe for a second that he is anything less than the son you prayed for." She was right, and I have never wavered since. As for Paradiso, your words stirred something in me that even Marilyn noticed. She walked into my study while I was listening and sat beside me, silent. We both wept. I remember when you lost Sarah. You didn't speak of it much, and when you did, it was in the language of liturgy. I never realized how much of your theology was built on restraint. But now I hear a new voice in you, the voice of a man who has surrendered his armor and stood naked before God. That's the only kind of man worth listening to. You said you fell to your knees when you saw her. I believe you. I believe she did too. And I believe the stars held their breath for just a moment longer before continuing their course. If you stay in Paradiso, I will bring Ira to see you. Not because I think he needs closure, but because I think he wants to see you happy. He may not say it aloud, but he sees you as more than Jeremy's father. He sees you as a man who has walked through fire and emerged whole. That matters more than you know. You once told me that grief creates gravity, that it bends the space around our lives and pulls things closer or pushes them away. I think your mirror pulled something wholly back into reach, and so I will let you go. Not because I want to, but because I understand. If this is where your journey leads, then we will meet again on the next leg of ours. Until then, know that my son carries a piece of my heart with him, and I entrust it freely to any world that still remembers how to love, with gratitude beyond time and affection beyond distance. Your brother Pentillion and beloved friend, Jon Rothbard.